We now go to the gentlelady from California, Ms. Lofgren.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And before I make remarks or questions, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to put into the record a letter from the California Privacy Protection Agency.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you. You know, the title of this hearing, fornication, I take a little bit of exception to. You know, I get it. People bring up California because we set the pace. But it's worth noting that I think my colleague from California, Mr. Correa, mentioned California is the fourth largest economy in the world, with over 4.1 trillion past Japan last year, and trailed only Germany, China, and the United States as a whole. It's number one. California is the number one state for manufacturing. It's home to the most Fortune 500 companies of any state. More than 40 are in Silicon Valley, my home. It also has the highest agricultural output of any state. It's home to the nation's, 5 of the nation's top 10 public universities: UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC San Diego, UC Davis, and UC Irvine. It accounts for over 12% of all university R&D expenditures in the United States, with the University of California system alone spending more than $12.1 billion, and it receives more NIH funding than any other university system in the United States. Now, these aren't just vanity stats, they're the foundation of the modern innovation economy that California has built. World-class universities, labs, investors, entrepreneurs, workers who turn ideas into jobs, into growth. California has been and remains the leader in technology, and the engine that built our economy now powers our AI leadership. California leads the world with 32 of the top 50 AI companies based here. So I do think, although it's always fun to criticize the most successful state, we must be doing something right to have achieved all of this. Now, this is a hearing on AI, and some of the comments made by the witnesses I agree with. Mr. Bray, you mentioned that upgrading existing domain-specific laws is more pragmatic than attempting sweeping new regulations. I very much agree with that. But I think that's also going to need room for regulations that are specific or laws that are specific to each state. I mean, there are things that are the proper purview of states, and there are things that are the proper purview of the federal government, and certainly I was a critic of Mr. Weiner's bill from the last session in that it overreached in the national security effort. I also agree, Mr. Thierer, that the EU approach is incorrect. I mean, to try and micromanage the workings of the AI system is doomed to failure, it seems to me. However, the recommendations that we simply preempt when we have nothing put together now is problematic. And I've just got to say, Mr. Chairman, and you are also a member of the Science Committee along with me, we had a pretty effective bipartisan task force on AI in the last Congress, chaired by Mr. Obernolte from California, as well as Ted Lieu from California. And they took the first step. I mean, they didn't finish the job, but they haven't even been reconstituted in this Congress. We do heavily rely on NIST, an agency that is widely respected in the Congress and in the technology world, but we've got to look at what's happened to NIST. They've been eviscerated by the DOGE people, and I fail to see how they're going to be able to perform the tasks that we're hoping that they can perform, given what has happened to them. So I would just like to say that we ought to be working on a bipartisan basis again. The Science Committee staffed the task force. I would urge the Speaker and whatever influence the Chairman can have to reestablish that AI task force as a super subcommittee of the Science Committee so that we can get more work done and get to where we need to be to have the guardrails and the standards that are appropriate at a national level, while also recognizing there are things that are of value in the state level. As the note from OpenIA just mentioned, Buffy Wick's online age verification is something they support. So there are things that the states can do, there's things that the federal government can do, but we're not going to do anything unless we can get our act together and reinstitute that task force and get some more work done. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
I thank the gentlelady, and